things.
I am Marvelous Akwamaga.
I am Chioma Akbala.
This is not a real market show like this.
Welcome to Afia TV, your go-to channel for excellent news and incredible shows that keeps you IEI, that is, informed, entertained, and inspired. Need a break?
Ladies and germs, welcome to Lunch Break on Afia TV.
Join Choco to vibe and chill on lunch break at 2 p.m. for the latest trends in music and entertainment.
Not like I have big money.
Dive into the world of innovation and creativity with Rochelle on Unka.
It means art in English.
Where creative minds and groundbreaking ideas come to life. Tune in every weekday at 8 p.m. Do not miss Afia TV Official, your perfect dose of laughter, where they discuss what is currently trending on social media every day at 5:30 p.m. on Afia TV.
But in this economy, the savings will save you, man.
And that's not all. Stay tuned for more exciting shows on Afia TV. Catch us on DSTV channel 254 and GoTV channel 17.
Do you know that you fit the pretty person, make the person they enjoy life?
The today is the first street fashion show in Nigeria, known as Enugu Street Fashion
This is Ogbe, the voice of the street, where the opinion of a common mind like Monwa and the Gonwa matters right here.
Yeah, I prefer eating outside than cooking now.
If you're cooking for your family, it's always cheaper to cook in house.
If you in your house, to buy more better.
I don't even know.
This is Ogbe.
It's a brand new week and another opportunity for us to gist and me to tell you, bring all the spice, all the things that are hot, trending, and exclusive on social media. Sometimes I know there's constructive criticism. I know that you know how to quote it. So for the people that don't understand, I want to be like, oh, why are you doing this?
Please, I'm not a cross-dresser. I'm only doing this because of the money on Facebook.
There are some people you need to just tell the truth brutally. Let it hurt them. Give it hot.
Afia TV Official, exclusive every weekday on Afia TV.
Time check is 2 p.m. and it's time for us to vibe, chill, and relax. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lunch Break on Afia TV. So Lunch Break is all about the music, it's all about fun, it's all about entertainment, it's all about entertaining gossip and stories from social, it's all about the latest trends, it's about what's lit, it's all about the games with our guests, and yes, in general, I like to say it's all about the vibes and vibes only.
Good evening to you, viewer, and welcome to Women in Business, a show that profiles women, executives, and even the next door store owners, showcasing Igbo greatness to the world.
I started always obsessed with books ever since I was a child.
The stress of always converting naira to dollar and
An incompetent means an incompetent person.
What are your thoughts on the spate of sex for grades in Nigerian universities?
This very issue of owing salary should be criminalized.
How can they amplify their voices?
People don't have evidence.
Want to get to know about it? Have to stay tuned right here on Afia Morning Show to get the pulse and the feel of that.
Join us on Ghana Plus every Wednesday at 6 p.m. right on Afia TV, DSTV channel 254, and GoTV channel 17, where we will delve into health issues affecting girls and women in society.
Breastfeeding doesn't even cause loss. The frequency of breastfeeding means the approach you take to make sure that your well-being is maintained.
Welcome to the latest and most amazing show on here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lunch Break.
You don't sing along.
I did sing.
For real.
You're not a backup singer.
That's what they do.
It's a brand new week and another opportunity for us to gist and me to tell you, bring all the spice, all the things that are hot, trending and exclusive on social media. Sometimes I know there's constructive criticism. I know that you know how to quote it. So for the people that don't understand, I want to be like, oh, why are you doing this?
Please, I'm not a cross-dresser. I'm only doing this because of the money on Facebook.
There are some people you need to just tell the truth brutally. Let it hurt them. Give it hot.
Afia TV official exclusive.
Good morning, it's Monday, the 30th day of September 2024. Welcome to the Afia Business Morning. And today, as always, we'll take a look at commodity reports and activities from selected exchanges on the segment Opening Bell Business. And from there, business news stories from around Africa and the rest of the world will come to you on Global Business. We'll also take a look at issues affecting businesses in the southeastern part of Nigeria and the Eastern Business Report. And finally, activities and conversations from around the market will come to you on Onya Afia. The Afia Business Morning takes center stage every weekday, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. My name is Ubong Kings. Welcome to the Afia Business Morning. Trading on the floor of the Nigerian exchange is open today. The exchange in London opened an hour ago. The New York Stock Exchange is yet to open, while in China, opening bells went off at 2 a.m. local time. We'll be looking at how the market's closed. Commodity reports as well, but then to get the Afia Business Morning started, and just before we jump into opening bell, let's bring you up to speed on happenings around us on the Afia News Update. Please stay.
Hello and welcome to the news update. I'm John Odenibo. On the news update, the Enugu State Police Command has apprehended 2 individuals who are allegedly breaking into cars and stealing in Enugu City. Meanwhile, the organizers of the #Fearless Oktoberfest protest have stated that they proceed with a planned demonstration despite opposition from the police, Department of State Services and the military. The Nigerian Port Authority has created a port emission inventory to monitor and reduce greenhouse gas emissions linked to the country's port activities. Meanwhile, a statement from the Ukrainian Defense Ministry on Sunday stated that Russia has reportedly destroyed at least 125 Ukrainian drones within its territory. And finally, in the update, former 2-time world heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua has received a 28-day suspension from boxing by the British Boxing Board of Control after being knocked out by Daniel Dubois last Thursday at Wembley Stadium. And that's the most you have in the news updates. Do follow us now on social media platforms at Afia TV Official. I'm Joan Odenibo. Many thanks for watching.
Yeah, welcome back to the Afia Business Morning, and you are watching Opening Bell. Today we'll look at activities from our selected exchanges, the Nigerian, the New York, London, Shenzhen, and Shanghai exchanges. We'll also see how commodities are faring in the open market. But first, we're going to be taking a quick look at some business news stories making the rounds. We're starting out from the continental economy, where it's reported that Tanzania is set to receive quite a number of 20% of all its gold exports. Main interested in this story has it that Tanzania rich in mineral resources and is ranked in Africa as one of the top mineral producing countries. In an attempt to strengthen its foreign reserves, Tanzania has requested the contribution of gold exporters in the country, as its mining regulator has directed all mining outfits exporting gold to allocate at least 20% of the commodity to the Central Bank of Tanzania, BOT. And away from that to the global economy, it's reported that SpaceX is to rescue stranded Boeing astronauts. SpaceX just launched a half-empty Crew Dragon spaceship carrying only 2 astronauts aboard instead of 4 to space in order to rescue 2 stranded Boeing astronauts, which is an unusual mission, and as it is the result of one of the Welcome back, and now we're going straight to the floors of other featured exchanges, starting up on the floors of the New York Stock Exchange this morning, where quite a lot of activity happening here with more dips than rises in index values across the board. We only have the NYSE US 100 index, the Dow Jones Industrial Average up at 0.23% and 0.33%. However, you may be interested to know that the NYSE Composite DJ is down 0.00%, the S&P 500 index is down 0.13%, the NYSE FANG TM index is also down 0.64%, the Nasdaq Composite down, Nasdaq 100 down 0.39% and 0.53% respectively. Away from that, let's get to London now, where is all rises in index values across board. FTSE 100 is up at 0.43%. FTSE 250 is up 0.10%. The FTSE 350 is also up at 0.52%. The FTSE All-Share Index is up at 0.53%. And away from there, let's move all the way to Asia now, starting off the floors of the Shenzhen Exchange, where, well, all of them are up and the margins are huge. Shenzhen Component Index is up at 6.71%. The SZSE Composite Index is up at 6.05%, and the China Index, incidentally, is up at a whooping 10.00%. And still in China, let's go to the floors of the Shanghai Exchange, where, well, the repeat is the case here. It's all rises right here at this exchange as far as the chart is concerned. The SSE Composite Index is up at 2.89%. The SSE 50 Index is up at 2.92%. The Star 50 Index is up at a huge margin of 6.76%. The SSE 180 Index is up 3.27%. The SSE 380 Index is up 4.07%. And the CSI 300 Index is also up at 4.47%. We will go on a quick break, and when we return, we'll be looking at commodity prices as well as our consumer price watch in the open market. You may want to follow this program, joining in on the conversation on our dedicated Afia Business YouTube channel. And for your information, we are live at the moment on our dedicated Afia Business YouTube channel, You know how to type in the search bar www.youtube.com/@Afia Business. And while you're there, do to hit the like button and remember to subscribe so you get notifications on all business-related content coming to you from Afia TV. The Afia Business Morning and indeed Opening Bell. We'll be right back after this timeout. Please stay. My name is Ubon Kings.
I am Marvelous Akwamaga.
I am Shioma Akbala.
This is not a real market show like this.
You're welcome back, and I am Ubon Kings. This is still the Afia Business Morning, and you are watching Open Bell right here on Afia TV. It's time to check in on commodity prices, and well, we'll begin with precious metals. It's incidentally downward movement for gold today, and indeed, all precious metals on out this morning. Gold is down at 0.53%, silver is down 1.16%, platinum is down also. 0.93 is down at a whooping 3.36%. Away from that, let's take a look at the energy this morning. Energy is mostly rises except for oil, which is down at 2.84%. However, natural gas is up at a huge margin of 5.41%. Ethanol is up at 1.13%. Coal is up 0.04%. Oil Brent is up 0.53%. Brass River and Kwaibo both up with the same values of 0.23% respectively. Away from that, let's take a look at industrial metals. Industrial metals, a mixture of rises and deep with more rises clearly. Lead and copper, well, are both down at 1.10% and 0.99% respectively. However, aluminium is up at 1.35%. Iron ore is up at 0.47%. Nickel is up. Zinc is up. Tin is also up at 0.62%, 0.23%, and 0.10% respectively. You are watching the Afia Business Morning. This is Opening Bell. You may want to follow this program and join in on the conversation on our dedicated Afia Business YouTube channel, and we are live there, by the way, right now on YouTube. You may want to kindly tap on the search bar www.youtube.com/Afia Business, and while you're there, hit the like button and remember to subscribe so you get notifications on all business-related content coming to you from Afia TV. Up next, we'll be taking a look at the hikes in prices of food commodities in the open market, as well as the hikes in fuel prices. And on that note, I'll see you tomorrow on the Opening Bell when the exchanges reopen for trading. The Afia Business Morning. We'll be right back. My name is Ubong Kings. Stay tuned.
British football. Manchester City.
Stream all Premier League games wherever you are on Showmax Premier League. Available now on Showmax.
Thank you for rejoining me on the Afia Business Morning. Welcome to Global Business. And here we'll be taking a look at business news stories around the continent of Africa and indeed the rest of the world. My name is Ubon Kings. Here are the headlines that we're tracking at the moment. We're starting off from Africa, where it's reported that Tanzania is set to receive 20% of all its gold. And away from Africa, SpaceX is to rescue stranded Boeing astronauts. And from the world of tech, Meta has been hit with 91 million euros fine for lax password safety. We'll bring you details of these news stories and more right after this break. Stay tuned. This indeed is Global Business right here on the Afia Business Morning, and we'll begin with stories from East Africa, where it's reported that Tanzania, which is rich in mineral resources and is ranked in Africa as one of the top mineral producing countries in an attempt to strengthen its foreign reserves, has requested the contribution of gold exporters in the country, as its mining regulator has directed all mining outfits exporting gold to allocate at least 20% of the commodity to the Central Bank of Tanzania, BOT. Meanwhile, this move is geared towards supporting the bank's efforts in diversifying its foreign reserves, as the country's central bank started acquiring gold from local traders and miners in the previous fiscal year, which ended in June, to enhance its reserves as the local currency, the shilling, depreciated. Now, this story to me holds quite a number of interesting angles, rather. Now, the fact that Tanzania is seeking to enhance its reserves as a local currency, the shilling depreciated, brings something to the fore. Meanwhile, on the other hand, the country's mining regulator wishes to achieve this by pretty much directing all mining outfits exporting gold to allocate at least 20% of the commodity to the Central Bank of Tanzania. Interestingly, too, to take us further in this particular reportage, Gemma Africa Limited helps us with a peek into the Tanzanian mining industry. Let's take a look.
Tanzania is rich in mineral resources, ranking as one of the top countries in Africa for mineral production. The country is renowned for its deposits of gold, diamonds, tanzanite, and other gemstones, with mining accounting for over 5% of the country's GDP and providing employment to tens of thousands of people. Tanzania is the fourth largest gold producer in Africa. Having said that, mining is a very intricate and meticulous process, from obtaining a mining license to the final product, ready for market. Through these meticulous processes, Gemma Africa continues to contribute to Tanzania's thriving mining industry.
Oh well, still on more business news stories from Africa, specifically this time around Southern Africa. It's reported that Russian ambassador to Zimbabwe, Nikola Krashikov, has recently reviewed a visa-free travel between Zimbabwe and Russia, which could be in the works as they look to bolster their relationship by allowing easy access for citizens of both countries into each other's borders, where it currently costs about $30 to gain entry into the Southern African country. Meanwhile, the envoy noted that a visa-free travel agreement between Russia and Zimbabwe aimed at boosting passenger traffic between the two countries is being looked into, as its agreement might be signed between November 5 and 7 in Moscow during the 5th meeting of the Bilateral Intergovernmental Commission, where its successful Russians will freely be able to access the country. Now let's hold on for a moment or two. This development may not be unrelated, so to speak, from the BRICS arrangement to boost Africa trade and investments on the continent, outside the continent. Now, truth of the matter is, this visa-free program between Zimbabwe and Russia will eventually bolster their relationship by allowing easy access for citizens of both countries into each other's borders. In other words, people from Zimbabwe can easily transport themselves into Russia without a visa, and vice versa. Now, just for the sake of emphasis, it currently costs about $30 to gain entry into the South African country, Zimbabwe, from Russia, but once this is in place, pretty much it'll be free. Anyway, Voice of America takes a look at this, at the reception Zimbabwe has garnered pretty much from tourists visiting country, because of course that's what it's basically about, having more people visit the country. Let's look at that reportage very quickly.
Even though water levels at Victoria Falls on the border of Zimbabwe and Zambia are lower than usual, tourists like Sarah are still visiting in large numbers.
I am impressed, to be honest. I've been enjoying too much the country and the culture, and also obviously this site, Victoria Falls, is wonderful.
She wants to return one day like Simon, who is from Zimbabwe but now lives in the UK.
Yeah, I returned to come see Victoria Falls as an experience because when I was young I never really got to see it. So last year I came, and this year I brought my friend from the UK to come actually have a view of the great Zambezi and Victoria Falls here, which we experiencing, and it's very nice, very beautiful.
But the country's international reputation suffers from what the US State Department describes as credible reports of human rights abuses, including unlawful or arbitrary killings, harsh and life-threatening prison conditions, and restrictions on free expression and media. Economist Gift Mgano says these government practices negatively impact.
Watching Global Business right here on the Afia Business Morning on Afia TV. You may want to kindly join in on the conversation and more on our dedicated Afia Business YouTube channel. You could also watch in live. Kindly tap in the search bar www.youtube.com/@Afia Business, and while you're there, do well to hit the like button. And remember, you should subscribe so you get notifications on all business-related content coming to you from Afia TV. Coming up next will be more business news stories from the world of aerospace and definitely from the world of tech right after this break. Stay tuned. You're welcome back to the Afia Business Morning right here on Afia TV, and you are still watching Global Business. Now to the rest of our stories. And this time around, we'll move into stories from the world of aerospace. It was reported that SpaceX just launched an half-empty Crew Dragon spaceship carrying only 2 astronauts aboard instead of 4 to space in order to rescue 2 stranded Boeing astronauts, which is an unusual mission, as it is the result of one of the toughest safety decisions the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, NASA, has had to make in decades, as it is also a huge blow to the Boeing's space program. Furthermore, NASA, who made a hard call after Boeing's spaceship glitch, stated that the astronauts Sunita Williams and Barry Wilmore, who have been stranded on the ISS since June after their Boeing spacecraft suffered thruster failures, won't return until February 2025. Now, this report brings a lot of things worth emphasizing to the fore. Number one is the fact that Boeing will pretty much be in the news for a pretty long time. You know, hopefully, subsequently, for better reasons in the future. Because I do remember reporting this story some time ago when this story actually broke. The good part is that there is help on the way, as Elon Musk's SpaceX just launched the half-empty Crew Dragon spaceship carrying only 2 astronauts, with the intention of bringing the other 2 back to Earth, with, of course, in February 2025, in what is now referred to as an unusual mission, pretty much. NBC News now reports this issue. Let's take a look.
Blasting off Launch Pad 40 atop a Falcon 9 rocket, SpaceX Crew 9 headed for the International Space Station for a crew rotation that's become anything but normal.
The vehicle is supersonic.
On board, veteran astronaut Commander Nick Hague and Russian astronaut Alexander Gorbanov. Staying behind, original crew members Zena Cardman and Stephanie Wilson.
I just want you to know we're going to find spots for them to fly.
Their empty seats will be taken by Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams on the return flight in February.
Ignition.
Wilmore and Williams have been on the space station since June, unable to return home due to problems with their Boeing Starliner spaceship, which returned home without them. Now, Williams has been named Space Station Commander.
This is my happy place. I love being up here in space. It's just fun.
Williams and Wilmore are getting new spacesuits since their Boeing suits can't be used in a SpaceX ship on return. And since they trained in Boeing Starliner, they now have to learn the SpaceX systems while already in orbit. Nick Hague talked about it before blasting off today.
That's going to be top priority when we get there, is having that dedicated time to help them understand what they're going to need to do to operate as part of the Crew 9 crew.
We've got a Falcon on board with us.
Once in orbit, Hague introduced his own zero-G friend named Aurora as the ship's Falcon 9 booster landed perfectly back on Earth.
Finally moving away from that to the world of tech, US tech giant Meta, which is the parent company of Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, among other products and services, has been hit with a €91 million fine by the Irish Data Protection Authority for not having enough user password protection and failing to protect users' passwords, the privacy watchdog announced. The investigation was launched in April 2019 after Meta notified the Irish authority that it had inadvertently stored certain passwords of social media users in plain text, meaning without encryption, on its internal systems, where the EU's General Data Protection Regulation requires companies to implement appropriate security measures when processing personal data. Now, if you ask me, I would say categorically that this story opens up a whole new vista, highlighting issues in the tech space. This one is all about password protection, yes or not. Non-protection. Now, let me ask you, do you really think you have enough password protection for your accounts? Well, Meta is being held liable for not having enough user password protection and failing to protect users' passwords. This was as announced by the privacy watchdog. Meanwhile, this issue started way back in 2019. Incidentally, Nuno Gist has filed in this report and is presented from our studios. Let's take a look.
In a significant move, Meta, the parent company of Facebook and Instagram, has been fined $101.5 million by the Irish Data Protection Commission, a DPC, for failing to secure user passwords properly. This hefty penalty stems from a security breach that occurred back in 2019, where hundreds of millions of passwords were stored in plaintext, meaning they were easily readable and not encrypted. The issue came to light when Meta discovered during a security review that many user passwords had been stored without adequate protection. While the company claimed there was no evidence of these passwords being misused, the fact that they were accessible to thousands of employees raised serious concerns about user privacy and security. The DPC, which oversees data protection compliance in the EU, launched an investigation after Meta reported the breach. Their findings revealed multiple violations of the General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR, which mandates that companies must take appropriate measures to protect personal data. Specifically, Meta failed to notify the DPC promptly about the breach and did not document it adequately. Graham Doyle, Deputy Commissioner at the DPC, emphasized that storing passwords in plaintext is widely recognized as a major security risk. He pointed out that such practices could lead to unauthorized access to users' social media accounts, potentially exposing sensitive information. This fine is not an isolated incident for Meta. It adds to a growing list of penalties the company has faced for data protection violations. Since GDPR was enacted in 2018, Meta has been fined a staggering €2.5 billion in total for various breaches. The latest fine reflects a tougher stance from European regulators, who are increasingly holding tech giants accountable for their data handling practices. Meta responded to the fine by stating that it took immediate action to rectify the situation once it was discovered. The company maintained that it has engaged constructively with the DPC throughout the investigation process and stressed that there was no evidence of improper access to user passwords. As this story unfolds, it raises important questions about data privacy and security in our digital age. Users must be able to trust that their personal information is being handled responsibly by large corporations like Meta. With increasing scrutiny from regulators, it remains to be seen how Meta and other tech companies will adapt their practices to ensure better protection for their users.
Well, we will follow up with this story as well as other stories and any other story that breaks as they unfold to keep you in the loop. And talking about keeping you in the loop, you may want to get to our dedicated Afia Business YouTube channel to watch this live or see previous episodes by going to www.youtube.com/@AfiaBusiness. While you're there, do well to hit the like button. Remember, you should subscribe as well so you get notifications on all business-related content coming to you from Afia TV. You're still watching the Afia Business Morning live right here on Afia TV. Come up next will be a conversation around the business of food packaging, unregistered packaged foods basically, and regulatory agencies' war. The Afia Business Morning and indeed the Eastern Business Report will be taking center stage any moment from now. My name is Ubong Kings. Stay tuned. name is Ubon Kings.
I am Marvelous Afia.
I am Chioma Akbala.
This is not a real market show like this.
My name is Ubon Kings.
I am Marvelous Afia.
I am Chioma Akbala.
This is not a real market show like this.
My name is Ubon Kings.
I am Marvelous Afia.
I am Chioma Akbala.
This is not a real market show like this.
You are watching the Afia Business Morning, and this is the Eastern Business Report, which is designed to bring you up to speed on business activities and policies affecting businesses and the economy of the southeastern region of Nigeria. It comes right after Global Business on the Afia Business Morning, and on today's edition of the Eastern Business Report, we will be looking at issues bordering on the fact that we are already having a crisis, as it were, in the place of, substandard products flooding the market. And then the fact that quite a lot of other persons think that this was expected, because reports have it that proliferation of unregistered, processed and packaged food products in both physical and online markets, despite the existence of regulatory agencies, pose significant risks to public health and safety. Now, NAFDAC official website states that product registration takes approximately 90 days for food products and 120 days for drugs, provided that there are no delays in the process. The applicants are required to submit all necessary documents, an application letter following NAFDAC's guidelines, relevant information, and a description of the facility, and submit samples of products for laboratory analysis and ensure all requirement payments were made promptly. Now, all registration process with timelines start with the submission of application 0 days, document verification 10 days, facility inspection and sampling for food of the food 10 days, and 20 days for drug laboratory analysis and food for 30 days. Now, and also have 40 days for drugs. Now, final vetting happens in 10 days and approval, meeting issuance of NAFDAC registration number for next 20 days. Now, these are the issues that are bringing a lot of conversations to the fore, because they say health is wealth. So why not? Why don't we talk about these things and help our health condition? My name, by the way, is Ubong Kings. Welcome. You're welcome back, and you're still watching the Eastern Business Report right here, and we are going to be looking at the issues around the business of food packaging. Yes, that's what we're going to be looking at this morning, and special reference to unregistered packaged foods and regulatory agencies war. And before we get into this conversation, I was opportune to see a video that was actually done here in Enugu State, as a matter of fact, on the AM show, where we were able to bring a special report about NAFDAC going about sensitizing Enugu indigenes about substandard products in the state. Let's take a look at it, and when we come back, we'll continue this conversation.
In a significant move to combat the rising threat of substandard and falsified medical products, the Southeast Zonal Director of NAFDAC, Mr. Martins Luyomade, organized a sensitization workshop yesterday. The workshop featured medical practitioners and stakeholders, emphasizing the urgent need for collaboration in the fight against counterfeit medications. Mr. Collins Ogedimbe, the state coordinator of NAFDAC in Enugu State, welcomed participants, highlighting the workshop's timely nature. He underscored the importance of collaborative efforts among healthcare professionals in raising awareness about fake medications.
So in February 2020, WHO, in collaboration with NAFDAC, carried out a survey on substandard and falsified medicines in Nigeria. The survey was targeted at about 100 households, which were randomly selected from households in 6 states within 6 zones of Nigeria.
During the workshop, Mr. Ogedingbe presented findings from a recent survey on substandard and falsified medical products and also listed the types of fake medicines that are being consumed. He elaborated on the critical role of healthcare professionals in educating patients about the risk associated with counterfeit medicines, providing notable facts and statistics that underscore the severity of the issue.
First of all, you have to check, you have to encourage your patients and also to always check their medicines by looking at the package for some of all these for some very vital information. One of them is the NAFDAC registration number. You have to encourage your patients, you have to enlighten them before they buy a drug, if they come to you, when you sell to them, explain to them, this drug I'm selling to you, maybe they are not taking the drug, giving the drug for everything, and they want to go, no, God, you didn't check if the drug I'm giving to you is registered like that. That is very key. You have to check for the findings of that drug. Because if you are taking a drug that is expired, definitely you are not going to get it with that. The back number, in fact, back numbers or impact numbers sometimes is used during the that when we need to recall drugs, maybe drugs have a problem, sometimes these are very key. So, them and analysis of manufacturers, many mistakes. Other notable parts are medications for chronic conditions are mostly popular. That is, most of the drugs people do assess that they're fake. Hypertensive drugs, diabetes, antibiotics, corticosteroids, medication for erectile dysfunction, cancer drugs, are some of these drugs that people normally want to take.
Following the presentation, an interactive question and answer session took place. Attendants inquired about how to identify the authenticity of NAFDAC registration numbers. In response, pharmacist Martins Iluyomade emphasized that there is always a counterfeit counterpart for every original product. He also shared tips on how to identify fake drugs and the manufacturers. He advised participants to verify the legitimacy of their suppliers and to always check for receipts and registration numbers to ensure authenticity.
Now, for everything that is original, there is room for the beginning of other products. What you will guide against, because we have people who are looking for every opportunity to make money. All of you here know that the product is selling. If you are a product of that product is selling, you know that the competitors or even people in the market will want to take advantage of the product that is selling and want to also sell. How do you know? Number one, for everybody who is selling, like I told them, everybody who is selling, you are the first person to hold the business. How? Because all of you know the real suppliers. You know the real vendors. You know the very people who are the owners of this product and the route to market of this product. It is when you begin for cheaper alternatives that you go and buy off that route and buy from anybody. And the fact that everybody come and show you that the product is not enough for you to do that to the one, is it because you really you need to understand. The second there is in the show here. You go through all those checks. One of the ways you can do if somebody is saying, I know you ask me to use, give me receipt with the batch number and everything you send to me.
In closing, pharmacist Iluyomade urged medical practitioners to take an active role in educating their communities about the dangers of counterfeit drugs. He encouraged attendees to report any sightings of fake medicines to NAFDAC, promising that the agency would act swiftly upon receiving such reports. In Enugu, Obina Kosisochuku.
All right, well, you just listened and saw that, and the question that really comes to mind is generally, is this a function of the already bad economy? Is this a function of people looking for cheaper alternatives or a blatant disregard for public safety and human lives? Now, regarding compliance directives, let me share something real quickly with you. NAFDAC requires clients to comply within 7 days of issuance, and failure may result in the cancellation of the application, and any delay caused by the client will not be counted within the 90-day registration period. Now, in other words, there is clearly a set-out rule or set-out modus operandi for getting food and whatever it is, so to speak, registered. And also, according to the pre-packaged food, water, and ice labeling regulations of 2019 of the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, it is prohibited, let me emphasize that, it is prohibited to manufacture, import, export, distribute, advertise, or sell, or basically use any prepackaged food without date marking, batch number, registration number, name of food, brand name, labeling information, list of ingredients, name, address, and contact information of the manufacturer or distributor, among other requirements. Let's get through this list again. It is prohibited to have food items, whatever it is, that does not have the manufacturer date, does not have the batch number, does not have the name of the food, does not have the brand name, does not have labeling information, a list of ingredients in that particular product, does not also have the name, address, and contact information of the manufacturer or distributor, among other requirements. But we still this commonplace in Nigeria. Now, whatever happened to the slogan, if you see something, say something. But then this is the stark reality we're facing right here in the country. And quite recently, I think a month or two ago, we, Afia TV, carried a particular reportage where goods worth billions of naira were burned, here in Enugu State, thanks to NAFDAC. And this clearly shows something, that a lot of businessmen are cutting corners just to make ends meet. Now, really, that, apart from the fact that some people just are naturally dubious and fraudulent and unscrupulous in their dealings, you should also take into cognizance the fact that quite a lot of businesses are suffering losses at the moment. I'm not justifying anything, I'm putting cards on the table, right? And they just want to find an alternative, but even the alternative, it is detrimental to health. Plus, are you also aware that date marking actually involves a legible display? Legible in the case of you can see it. The key word there is legible. Legible display of the day, month, and year of manufacture on the label when a food must be consumed before a certain date to ensure its safety and quality. All right. You also must have the use by date or expiration date and the best before date, or maybe you call it best quality before date. It has to be declared. But then, does this always happen? I mean, as a matter of fact, we get to buy unregistered, all these things by the road, and for some reason, nothing really happens to us, and we think it's cool. It's not really cool, right? Because at the end of the day, it has a way of affecting our health, right? And one other thing I want to point out is, are you also aware that somewhere, especially, let's be very frank about it, let's use statistics, in the US, that's the United States of America, on average, there is a 33% probability that you do not actually get what you pay for. Now, what it means is the share of mislabeled food is pretty much remarkable. It stands at 74%. 74% for seafood sold in various locations. I'm talking about the unregistered, our own share of the unregistered products, is just messing with our economy and health as well as longevity. We'll take a short break. When we come back, I'm going to try to wrap this up and put some things in perspective with reference to how to deal with this, who to go to, how to report these cases. Yes, I know things are tough. Yes, we understand the reality of the case that a lot of persons are looking for easier ways to do things, but easier ways at the detriment of people's health. Let's take this break. When we come back, we're trying to wrap this up. Please stay. My name is Ubon Kings.
I am Marvelous Akwamaga.
I am Chioma Okpala.
It is now real market show like this.
You're welcome back, and you're still on the Eastern Business Report. And just a quick review of what we've done already. I took out the time to share with us some issues with reference to unregistered food products, and a certain reportage that was shared on the AM show, the Afia Morning Show, and we shared it here also. And the fact that it clearly shows that we in this part of the world, in Nigeria specifically, we are known for importing things, which sad reality, that's what it is. And over there in the US, they already have issues with mislabeled food products. And then these things come into the country with the same mislabeled food products, and we end up consuming all of that, which is pretty much detrimental to our health. But then, plus the fact that we have our own health plethora, if you may, Pandora's box opening, we finding out that in this part of the world we have packaged food, so to speak, or drugs, whatever it is, that are pretty much unregistered, which is, of course, detrimental to health. I thought it wise to share this with us and let you understand that there are key things you may want to do. Check on the body of that. If you don't see these few things I'm going to be talking about right now, please do not buy it. If you do not see an expiration date on the product, you do not see a best before date on the product, you do not see the day, month, and year of manufacture on the label, you don't also see the name, address, and contact information of the manufacturer or distributor, among others, You don't also see a batch number. You don't see the name of the food, the brand name, and labeling information. Please don't buy that product. And make sure there's a NAFTA registration number on that product before you purchase it and consume it. This will be the size of the package on the Eastern Business Report. And you may want to be part of the conversation. Share with me your thoughts on this particular subject matter. Drop off a conversation on the dedicated Afia Business YouTube channel. Do what to type in the search bar, www.youtube.com/@Afia Business. And while you're there, remember you should like, you should comment, and you should subscribe so you get notifications on all business-related content coming to you from Afia TV. You're still watching the Afia Business Morning live from Enugu State, Nigeria. Coming up next will be Onya Afia. Thank you profusely for your time. My name is Ubong Kings. Stay tuned.
Two of the most Manchester City.
Stream all Premier League games wherever you are on Showmax Premier League. Available now on Showmax.
My name is Ubong Kings.
I am Marvelous Apamaga.
I am Chioma Okbala.
This is not a real market show like this.
Hello, what's up, and Afia? Welcome to the Onya Afia podcast. My name is Harch Hello, and here we talk about trade and the lifestyle of a hustler. Whether you're a hustler for streets or for office, we there for you. In fact, today we are taking it to the office. We have an interesting person. he's interesting because he makes businesses interesting. That's his job, right? Jeremy,
My boss.
Welcome to Afia.
Thank you, boss. Thank you so
Welcome
much.
to Afia.
It's a
You are the
pleasure.
branding guy. The guy at what you Otobolo or Zubalas.
Well, that's a mouthful, but yeah,
Okay?
thank you.
Yes. So tell us about branding. Start from
Mm.
here and take us
Mm.
here to infinity and beyond. What is
Okay.
a brand?
A brand is the character that you want to give to a business. So the same way people have the angry birds, the angry ones, the shy ones, the ones that get to apologize easily, the proud ones. People have different characters. So when you try to attach a character, a personality to a business, that's what makes it a brand, right? The fact that in a cluster, in a group of people, right, there is this particular person that is easily remembered, right? So a brand is a business with a character, with a trait, with a culture, something that people can believe in.
Yes.
Right. So I don't know if that works, so I should explain it a little bit.
Do you want to explain
I think
it a
I
little
can.
bit?
So if I'm to relate that to how people live, that would be what makes me different. When I walk into a space, what do I wear? How do I talk? What do I say? That people will turn their heads and be like, who is that guy?
Who that guy?
Who that guy we just enter here?
Yeah.
Now, those things I do that makes me who I am are the things that make me that creates my brand. But in this case, it's brand as a person, right? So for a business, when you just want to move away from transaction, buying and selling, to something people can really remember, the goal is this. You want people to remember you. You want to be unforgettable.
Like you have done with this guy.
In my head, please. You want people to close their eyes, open it, and they still have you in mind. Even when they go somewhere else, you're like, I would have gone to this place. So that is the goal. You don't want people to forget you. So those things you do to transform your establishment or your business from buying and selling to something people will remember you for is what makes you a brand, not just a business.
Do you think that traditional businesses, Igbo people, don't they buy? Do you think that they've done well with this thing of
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they have. Yes, they have. They've done pretty well. But if we take it to scale, which is to a bigger setting, I wouldn't say they've done well.
Okay.
So there are 4 parts to marketing or to any business if you want to be successful in your sales. One has to do with your cost. The other has to do with convenience. Another has to do with your customer. And then the last one is your communication. While Igbo businesses are not really big on communication, sexy branding and all those things, what I know they've done that has made them successful is they've appealed to people's convenience. So I want to get something really quick. I'm stepping out the door to this particular shop or this particular store and I'm getting what I'm getting. So they are champions in a local setting. They are winning big in a small way.
Okay.
So are they doing well? Yes, they are doing well. But if they hope to expand, if they hope to capture new market, if they hope to not just local government or have 3 shops, if they hope to capture a state or a country,